Entrepreneurship is all about people. And that's what most people who are trying to get into entrepreneurship actually miss out on. If you don't understand people, you will never succeed in business because business is around people. That's one of the things my dad taught me. And so, as much as I've got a fairly decent presence on social media, I'm always putting out content on TikTok, YouTube, pretty much everywhere, including this podcast. I also see a need to go out into the world, to travel, and to meet people and to physically interact with them because that's what builds relationships and that's what in my world brings in the business. It expands our networks, it gets us funding for our students, and there's just a whole lot of good that comes out of it. And That's pretty much what I've been focusing on since the second half of this year, 2024. Just being out there in the world and meeting up with people. So there's been a lot of travel, and I think you want to ask me about my travels today.
Yeah. Well, first of all, welcome back to KwaZulu-Natal. It's been almost 3 weeks since I saw you last.
Well, I'm here for the time being,
For the time
and then
being,
I'm
yeah.
off again tomorrow.
Well, I think your audience might not understand this, but we have the luxury of seeing each other every day.
Yeah.
We work together and we live together, so it was a noticeable chunk of time that you've been gone. 3 weeks. It's been quite a while since we spent that much time apart. I'm glad that you're back.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it was a very fruitful trip. It was an extremely fruitful trip down towards Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha, that's the new name, and then from there to Oudtshoorn, from Oudtshoorn to Cape Town. Um, okay, Oudtshoorn was the only place where I just relaxed. I stayed in Ostrich Farm, which was lovely, but Gqeberha and Cape Town was all work, and it was exhausting because I spent a week in Gqeberha, and it was just visiting school after school, community after community, organization after organization, just talking to them about the world of technology. No one's doing this in South
Right.
Africa. And you'll be surprised that uh, I would go into a school, and I think I must have visited, like a dozen schools almost. And it was incredible. I love it because I love working with young people, young, intelligent people, coming from my teaching years. And so it's remarkable how little they know about technology. It's kind of a contradiction, right? Every single one of them has a cell phone,
Right.
and I was actually surprised to see them freely using their cell phones in class and everything. But yet they know so little about tech. They basically just consumers, maybe WhatsApp, some social media, TikTok and things, but they don't know how to use the tech for something profitable, something
Right.
beneficial.
And we know that could be potentially dangerous as well. Having the technology, not really knowing how to use it constructively.
Well, dangerous is one thing that's like on the extreme end, but put it on a continuum, right? Everything from just idly wasting time, consuming to danger. There
Right.
is
There's a
definitely
lot.
a lot of ugly and dangerous things out there. And I think it's a shame because there's so much of potential. We living it daily. We know what technology, uh, what sort of opportunities it provides. That's our
Yeah.
lives. So, I mean, in a typical class, I would ask how many of you have used ChatGPT before, and maybe a third of their hands would go up.
Wow.
The rest didn't even hear about it, right? Or maybe like one third used it, one third heard about it, and one third never even heard about it. So I did these talks. I showed them, I told them about the opportunities out there. I did presentations, and I also used, and this was the crux of it. I got them to talk to me, to tell me what they were really truly passionate about, each one of them. And I wanted to, in the short time that I had with them, I wanted to start that mental process of them doing some inner reflection on what they are passionate about. And then I used ChatGPT to show them how they can find opportunities within what they love,
Right,
what
right.
they are passionate about.
So you have a course on that actually as well.
Yeah, I do have that course. I mean, for those that want to do it, for those of you who want to do my course, I've got this course. And to all you young people that are out there who are deciding on a career, I know the pressure is there for you to decide on a career, and I know what you are going to do. You are going to be handed a university prospectus or a college prospectus, and you're going to go and look at it and say, oh, okay, School of Science, School of Engineering, School of Commerce, and you're going to look for something in there. Listen to me, take that prospectus and put it away, because that is the absolute worst way to decide on a career in this day and age. The way to start with your career, and this is what I spoke at the schools, right? The way to decide on your career is to start with the most important thing ever, which is, what are you passionate about? Leave the universities. They're going to try and put you into a box. That's what the prospectus is. It's essentially telling you that you go into this box or that box or that box. Choose your box, but we're going to box you in. What I'm saying is, chuck those boxes out. Get out of the box. Take your head out of the box and reflect on yourself, who you are. So once you have that self-knowledge, that's going to help you decide on the perfect career for you. Because we all have our passions. We all have something that we are not just passionate about, but means something to us. There's a problem that we want to solve. It could be something like global warming, environmental change, global poverty, inequality. It could be something as globally relevant as that, or could be something on a smaller scale, right? But there is something that you have and I have that means something to you. For me, and the reason I started this business, in which you are now a major part, is that as my son, you're part of this business. But we started this business so that I can end this unbreakable cycle of students coming out from university and not being able to get jobs because they don't have experience. No experience, no job, no job, no experience. That vicious, perpetual vicious cycle. So
you mentioned pair schools also, but when we work through emails together and things, we see a lot of people who are now actually in their careers. They've gone through the cycle, but they've stayed in their box, and only now are starting to realize that there needs to be change. So, is it too late for them? I think I already know the answer to that, but give us some perspective on that.
Too late. Go and sleep in a coffin. Go and sleep. I'm joking. I'm joking. And you know it better than most, right? The queries that we're getting from all over the world. My God, people are in jobs. The one I sent to you, I was so impressed. The lady from Singapore, she's working in Singapore, and she says, I've been working my whole life in this career. I don't like it. I want to change. You remember that one?
Yeah.
So it's not too late. But coming back to you, students, my appeal to you is do my course, the one that Zaki just mentioned. Do this course. I'm going to put the link to the course down below. It's for the extremely high price of free, right? Do the course. It's free. It's for you to help you, firstly, to know thyself. Like the old philosophers used to say, know thyself. Understand what you are about, and then make a career decision based on that. And how do you do that? And this was the funnest part. I don't know if funnest is a word, right? But the students loved this in every school that I spoke at, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Gqeberha, where I took their passions, and a lot of them were hesitant. Right. They're like, it's silly. Okay, what are you passionate about? The one girl said, gardening.
Right.
And I said, well, do you think there's a career for you in that? No, absolutely not. What do you want to study? Commerce. Do you like commerce? No. Everybody's telling me to study commerce. Okay, let's see what ChatGPT has to say. And I was like, I was truly envious of this generation. Because back in the days when we had to choose a career, my dad took me to one uncle down the street, and that guy knew something about careers, and he gave me all wrong advice.
It's always about who you know back then.
Yeah, and what's the best advice you can get from some old timer?
Right.
And I loved coding computers, right? From 10 years old, you guys know that. Where's my Commodore? Is my computer is somewhere here. But I loved that. And so he asked me, what do you want to do? This was late 80s, early 90s. I said, I want to program computers for a living. He said, you're wasting your time. What is that? Playing computers, wasting your time. Right?
Yeah.
This was early 90s. Look at the changes that happened
Just before the Big Bang.
just before the Big Bang. And I don't blame him. He was giving me sincere advice. But you guys have AI, you have ChatGPT. So use that to help you make the career. But I don't want to give too much because that's not what we want to talk about here today. That's part of what we want to talk about. So do the course. The link is down below. Do the course. Even if you're not a student, even if you're a business person, if you are in a career, at least get a sense of what would you do if you had the choice right now? Would you make a change or would you carry on doing what you are doing?
Yeah, normalize that question to yourself. What I want
Normalize
to do.
it. Don't be scared of that question.
Yeah.
That's the most terrifying thing. It's the most terrifying thing, to realize that, hey, I'm in the wrong place. I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm earning a living. That's it, and I'm living day by day, day to day. It's very scary. Okay, so more travels coming up. You want to ask me about that?
Yeah, on your travels, we had meetings, we had calls, and prior as well, you started to set up workshops. And I think I want to talk about these a lot, just to get people a bit excited about them. But yeah, tell me a little. I don't want to touch on it too much. I don't want to give anything away. But tell me a little bit more about the workshops. First of all, why a real life workshop? Why a face to face workshop? Why not a virtual digital workshop like our previous one?
Good question. Good question. Brilliant question. So, what's the workshops about? Right, Durban, Johannesburg, Gqeberha, Cape Town, perhaps even Port Louis, Mauritius, and a few African countries which are already Cairo in October. Definitely, that's confirmed. So, what is this? These are workshops for anybody who wants to learn how to do business online, how to use the internet to do business. It's not for techies. If you're a techie, you're welcome. If you're a non-techie, you've never used anything more advanced than WhatsApp in your life, you're welcome. You're going to benefit from this. The idea is this. To first, see, I'm from a generation that is pre-technology, right? I was born in 1975. That was a time when everything was still old-fashioned. You guys were born into technology, so you don't know a life without it. And there's a significant difference here. And that difference is this: we had to learn to do things without the tech. And so we mastered it in the real world. And then when the tech came out, we simply used the tech as an enabler.
Right.
As a streamliner to the process.
I mean, you always say, get it done the old-fashioned way first, and then allow technology to make it easy for you.
Exactly. Figure it out, the real-world processes. I was speaking to a radio presenter on a radio program yesterday, and I said to her, look, you are an excellent presenter. In the number of episodes that we've done together, I can see you are intelligent, articulate, you speak well. But you are leveraging technology to get your voice out to the world. The technology didn't make you how good you are.
Right.
It's the same with writing, right? If you're a good writer, you can use a pencil and paper, or you can use Microsoft Word or Scrivener or any of the apps out there to streamline your work. You're writing a book, but that tech is not going to make you into a better writer.
I mean, you just said you're going to Cairo. Right? Why? Not because you used TikTok. It's because the brand that you've created, you took your skills and you put it online. That's what happened.
Exactly. And that's another very relevant thing you said, extremely relevant, that TikTok social media in general.
Social media.
People wonder, hey, I'm using this platform, that platform, but it's not working out. Why? It's because you haven't honed your skills in the real
Right.
world.
You put in the tech first.
Exactly. And I learned this the hard way over the past, I don't know how many years, of putting out content and getting dud responses. And then I learned about the proper way of explaining myself, articulating the rules of marketing, the rules of engagement, storytelling, copywriting. When I learned those things and then I went back to social media, now suddenly it started to take off because now I started writing things that were relevant and meaningful and bounced off. Well, didn't bounce off people, but rather they found it. What's the word I'm looking for?
Right. They
It resonated.
Right.
It resonated with them, and so that's what we did. Okay, so coming back to these workshops, that's what I'm doing in these workshops. I'm teaching people. Firstly, let's just put technology away. Let's teach you business skills, marketing skills, sales skills, a bit of human psychology. Understand the mind of your customer. When you understand all that, then now we bring in the technology.
Right.
And we use the technology to streamline. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I teach them that. And so your question, why are we doing this face to face? Again, it's about that personal touch. I'm all about the personal touch. And what's happening here is people who would never go and study anything online have come forward and have signed up.
Right.
I mean, Lenasia, full up, booked out. Parktown, booked out. Santon, booked out. That's what, 150 human beings
Right.
that wouldn't study online. But now I'm taking the learning to them. And there's double benefit here. There's benefit to them and there's benefit to us because now they're going to realize that, hey, this online learning is not such a bad thing. I'm going to expose them to it. It's the same in Cairo, same thing. So that's how, that's why we're doing it. That's why I'm doing it face to face. The other reason for doing it face to face is I'm bringing people together. If you think about it, in Lenasia, you're going to get 50 people sitting there who never probably knew each other. And now I'm giving them an opportunity to network with each other. And I'm going to be consciously telling them that, guys, network now.
These are your peers.
These are your peers. Entrepreneurship doesn't have to be a lonely thing. It is lonely, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah. Learn to network, learn to speak. Zach, you are in sales, you're a young 23-year-old sales guru in the making. Go and meet up with this sales guru and that sales guru and understand what the work is, what it entails. You'll pick up something from them, they'll pick up something from you. Maybe you are doing one sort of business and they're doing, and you'll find something complementary. Yeah. For example, I need a web designer and you're a web designer, and when we meet up, or you are baking and I'm producing eggs, and we make out, say, okay, I'll supply you eggs.
There we go, yeah.
So there's just so much of potential in just networking with human beings, and that's where business grows. Business doesn't grow by sitting on a desk. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. As much as some people will lie to you. So that's the other reason for going out there.
I think that's a brilliant reason. I think that's that isn't done anymore. Connecting with people online has become the norm. You forget the real value in actually physically talking to somebody and networking with them, especially in a room where you're going to hone them on all their similar interests. I'm sure you're going to start off with what's your passion, the business behind your passion, and how to use technology to leverage that. That's
definitely
basically going to be
It starts with that. It always starts with that for me.
So how did this workshop, where did you see the need for this workshop? Why are you having it?
So people requested it.
So mainly.
Yeah, again, and it's my advice to all you business people, do not separate yourself from your customers. Listen to them. Understand what they really truly want. And the best way to understand your customers is to speak to them.
Face to face.
Face to face. So what I did was I reached out and for me it's a very puzzling thing that there's so many opportunities in digital entrepreneurship, but so few people are seizing the opportunity, and yet they puzzling financially. They like to make a little bit of money. They want to. Some of them, I know people that say, "No, I don't mind getting a job for 3,000 rand, 3,500 rand."
Right.
I'm like, why? Why? You could do 4 times, 10 times that just from home. I mean, my mother is doing it, right? Your grandmother is running a business, a thriving business at what, nearly 70 years old.
Yeah.
Why would people just go and work for one paltry
True.
below the poverty line
And I'm
kind
sure
of?
if you told people how much my grandma, my dad is earning, they'll be shocked.
They will be
They'll
shocked,
be
and I
shocked.
don't want to reveal that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's
So the thing is, so coming back to the question. So I listened to people.
right.
Why aren't you doing? They said because we need somebody to hold our hand and show us. So we said online. They said no, but we're not used to learning online. Okay, what do you need? We need workshops. I'm doing these workshops. And guess what? Every time I do the workshops, we get sign-ups for online
There you go.
sign-ups by the dozen.
You know, recently you put out a video calling out to all the stay-at-home moms to you know, an appeal for them to get into entrepreneurship, and a lot of them had emailed us, and we were looking through the replies, and we've seen, wow, these people have so much skills. Mothers have a lot of skills that once their children not, you know, don't need it as much, you can monetize it.
Yeah, yeah.
Baking, cooking, it's all there.
It's amazing. It's amazing. In Kabeja and in Cape Town, we met up with people, you know, stay-at-home moms. In fact, the Airbnb we stayed in Cape Town, the owner is also I won't say a stay-at-home mom, but she works from home. She's a researcher.
Wow.
And you're right. The skills we've got: accountants, legal people, you know, people with marketing, copywriting, photography skills. And what many of them complain to me is that you know, they're bored. They're bored. I mean, everything is found and things. So there's some, and then there's others who want to supplement the income. Others just want something to do, and I got them to realize. It's on my TikTok video also, that some of the most successful companies in the world were started by stay-at-home moms, like Spanx. I mean, she was a stay-at-home mom. She solved a problem for herself and established a $1 billion business in the process. So no matter who you are, whether you are a student still at school, or you are a student at university, or you're a business person, or a stay-at-home mom, young, old, 60, 80, whatever your age is, I don't care. Digital business is there for you, and it's creating opportunities for everybody all over the world. And what South Africans need more than anything else is to stop being insular.
Right.
Stop behaving like South Africa is the only country on planet Earth. What we need, and this is the other thing I'm trying to get into the people's brains, they start thinking international business. Because that's something the Indians and the Bangladeshis have done decades ago.
All right.
And they're like, okay, you are my countryman. I don't want to do business with you. I want to do business with the guy in USA and earn dollars. Because you're going to pay me peanuts. That guy's going to pay me in dollars, which is for him peanuts. But for me, it's a fortune. Like the one student of mine who was doing web design for a organization in the US. I gave this as an example. He was earning $1,000 for working 2 hours a day.
$1,000. Can we do a quick rand conversion on that?
What, 18,000 rands
Wow.
for 2 hours? Get me 3 clients like that. I'll resign from this business. No, I'm joking. So online gives you the ability to do business from anywhere in the world. I mean, for those that saw my TikToks and my last couple of weeks YouTubes, I've been doing it on the run, on the road. My one TikTok I did from the forest somewhere. One YouTube I did on the top of a mountain somewhere. I love this life, and I'm not boasting, I'm not bragging, I'm not that type of person. Look at me, I got so much money. I'm not that, right? We've battled, we are building a business, my sons and I. We are not billionaires or anything, but the fact remains that we're enjoying what we're doing because we got flexibility. We got the freedom to work from anywhere in the world.
Right.
And that freedom is available to everyone. It's available to you. To you out there, you can do that. You can work from anywhere and do business everywhere.
Right. If Spanx and Amazon could do it, and be multi-billionaires. Well, who's to say you can't earn a moderate, livable income of it, of online? If they did it, imagine how easy it would be to match your salary.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who have matched their salary just working, doing some home-based side gig business. But did you hear that saying I made? Do business anywhere and everywhere. How's that?
I
Sounds
like
nice,
that,
right?
yeah.
We should use that somewhere. I beg your pardon. Okay, I think we're going to be running out of time now. How many minutes have we?
I actually lost track.
Okay, I also lost track. Okay, any more questions?
No, I think the best thing is now tell us where you're going to be.
Well, okay, this weekend I'm doing the workshop in Santon, Digital Entrepreneurship Workshop, Parktown and Lenasia, as I said. All are sold out, sorry, too late. But if you'd like me to come to your town and do a similar workshop, let's do it. There'll be financial rewards also.
Or even in Santon and Indonesia, we are still getting queries for them. So we'll get enough people, we will have another one.
We'll have a follow-up. I mean, there's always that. Coming up soon, Durban, Cape Town, Gqeberha. So if you are in any one of those cities, just stay tuned on my YouTube and my TikTok. Cairo is a closed thing. It's not open to the public. I'll be doing that and coming back. But also if you're in any other African country, heck, any country, just call me and we'll come and do these workshops. But listen to me, in conclusion, this is what I want to say. I want to start a revolution in South Africa. And that revolution is digital business internationally. I want to get, and I mentioned it on LinkedIn and on TikTok, I want to start over 1,000 entrepreneurs, but I don't want to stop there. I want to get 1 million South African entrepreneurs who are doing business globally and earning in dollars. South Africa, the world is waiting for you.
Right.
The world is literally, I mean, I've been to Turkey and Mauritius and India and people say, where are you South Africans? We want to work with you.
And not just that, but South Africa is like the baby of the world. Everybody loves South Africa. I don't know if you know the internet term, but nobody has beef with us.
Nobody has beef with us. We're just likable people, and the world is waiting for us, but we've got this mindset that, I need to have a shop and sell in my own community, look after your community, but also grow internationally. And it's never been easier, and I will show you how through my workshops. With that, I think let's stop here because I don't want this episode to go too long. But thanks for listening in, and I hope you've learned something, and I hope I've inspired you, and I hope that you will start really thinking about doing some business online. And as I say, always keep in touch.